So you come across this scene, your child comes to you and says, "Mommy, can you put it back where the colors are actually, matching on each side?" And you decide, okay, I'll do this. And, well, rather than learning the algorithms, you decide to do the most non-algorithm way possible to put it back together. You just decide, I'm going to break it apart. Like so. If you're that kind of parent, this is Puzzle Breakdown, and you're welcome to actually sit here and learn how to put it back together. And personally, I think it would just be better to just learn the algorithm, because it really isn't that hard. But people have time. People have busy lives, and who wants to learn algorithms, really? What is this, math class? Really? Do we want that? No. Personally speaking. Let me just finish this up. Just so that... I am not a speed cuber, by the way. Not in the slightest. Now, if learning the algorithms are too hard for you, first step to taking this thing apart, you have to actually angle this by turning it, what is that, 45 degrees? Hold on. So this is 0, this is 90, 45. Okay, 45 degrees, and then you twist that out. Pull out all the pieces. Now, this isn't an original Rubik's Cube. I do not have that kind of money to go and spend on getting an original Rubik's Cube, because those things are like over $100. An antique. A classic. So these are our modern Rubik's Cubes today. They have springs in them to help keep things more flexible, as opposed to just the brute friction that it's held in with the older ones. But we'll break one of those down later. I got a 1980s one on order, hasn't arrived yet. But once that comes, and it looks pretty beat up from where I saw it from, so it's like, it's going to probably be very appropriate, and if it busts, it's not that big of a loss. Oh, there was one thing that I wanted to show before putting this entire thing back together. Of course, it's the one really facing away from me. Alright, so this is how Rubik's makes their cube now. Pieces upon pieces. No stickers anymore, not like the classic. Obviously, it's really small pieces of plastic. No stickers anymore. Let's put that back together real quick. Take a look at a corner piece real quick. Now this is 3 pieces. Not Hopefully I did not put that back together wrong. We'll find out in a moment. Luckily, we're doing the green side first. First things first. So, we're going to form the bottom layer here. Here's what the bottom layer looks like on a modern Rubik's Cube. Okay. Actually put this back together into its I'm very picky on how my Rubik's Cube logo is sitting. First things first, when you're putting this thing back together, you're going to put the pieces, the center pieces, in first. It's going to be kind of jumbly because of the tension on these springs here. What you want to do is to get all the side pieces in first. Whoa, 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 don't fall apart on me. Do not fall apart on me. Or at least get 3 sides in first. And then, to add structural stability, we'll add corner pieces. There we go. Once you get this corner, it starts becoming more stable. Green and red piece. There, first layer done. Then you'll slowly build up. Lift up on this, slide it back in. There. Now we just have the top layer left to do. So we'll start with a side piece to help keep the final top piece stabilized because of that spring tension. And then we'll start putting in the corner pieces. Make sure that you get the corner piece in so that it's not rubbing up against this piece. See? Okay? It's like building a track for itself. And we'll get the yellow, red, and blue piece in. Sliding on the track. Whoops. Just realized we got a problem here. You got to make sure that you put this thing back together pretty much solved, or else you only get a 12 and 81 chance of getting it correctly. Now, that number was generated by ChatGPT, so whether or not it's true, it doesn't really matter. That's why you gotta assemble it back solved. Okay, this is the appropriate piece for this corner. This is the appropriate side piece right here. Now, what's important is that you put a side piece in last. All right, and then for this last one, you're gonna, once again, like the way we started it, it's gonna be rotated. The top layer will be rotated 45 degrees, and then this piece right here, you're gonna insert it into that hole in the middle. And be sure to twist the color in the right direction. So in this way, I'm going to twist it counterclockwise to get it back into its place. Make sure you lift it up. Voila! You have solved the cube through brute force alone. And that was an interesting little breakdown. As you can see, the modern Rubik's Cube has more give. An older Rubik's Cube, on the other hand, is not going to have that. They were really stiff. They did not have this much flex to it. They did not have this much flex to it. Pretty much it was all one block, and you had to put a lot of force in it, like this. It was all like one stark piece. Obviously, I'm acting here, because this thing is not one of those ancient devices. It's a frickin' modern Rubik's Cube. But we have broken down a modern Rubik's Cube, and we put it back together. And if you're going to put a Rubik's Cube back together, put it back together solved, because you are not likely to get it back together in a solvable way. If the corner pieces are mismatched, the Rubik's Cube will never be solved. If one of these side pieces was flipped upside down, never be solved. So it's very important to put it back together solved. Unless you want to have a kid that's very unhappy at his Rubik's Cube. Nobody wants that. I'll only solve this one more time. Just because I find it fun. No, got it wrong. Here's another handy detail to know about when putting the pieces in the right order. If you know the way to solve a Rubik's Cube in the more, traditional sense, you start with the white cross. But here, let me just get these corners out of the way too. So you're going to start with the white cross. Remember, blue is on the left. Blue has 4 letters, left has 4 letters. Green is on the right. Green has 5 letters, right has 5 letters. And that's the way that I remember it. Oops, that's not right. the Rubik's Cube. The Modern Rubik's Cube. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment on the video. Like with a thumbs up, like I said before. And be sure to subscribe, because next time we are going to do H2x2 and see how that one looks when broken down. See you on the next one.